If you want to be coached by someone that podiumed their first ever MXB Tire event, then click the MXB Coach link in the description to book a one-on-one session with me now. Back to the video. Alright, what's going on, boys? Welcome back to a brand new video. Today, we are here on the brand new Beta 20, I believe we're on now. Let me just... Yeah, we are on, if you can see down there on the bottom right, Beta 20 now. So, yeah, we've got a brand new stock Paboso and Snap track, which I think is very, very cool. I was definitely not having this on my bucket list. I generally didn't think we'd ever see another stock track again, but here we are, got a massive Paboso down it, and I'm pretty sure it is an SMX kind of style of track. We've got a little bit of Supercross in the middle here, and then it all flows outside. If I throw my map on here, put my standards on as well, it's one big track, I do believe, which I think is very, very cool, very, very interesting. We've got a little Joker Lane section here, which has coming soon on it, so I'm kind of assuming it isn't working just yet. But yeah, let's get on the track. We're on the YZ450 as per usual. But yeah, this is the first time me playing this beta. I've been out most of today, and I just loaded up aerial pits, and everyone's talking about how the game feels different. So we're gonna literally give it a go. This is genuinely my first time trying it. There's new animations as well, which I'm very, very interested to see how that works. But I don't really know what's changed. There were, like, I had a look for changelogs. There's nothing actually on Steam that tells you about anything that's changed just yet. But I feel like that's always kind of delayed. But I had a look on Google. I generally just typed in like MX Bikes changelogs, and there is. It tells you what's been changed, but it doesn't actually tell you what the actual update is. I'll pop a picture up on screen. It kind of just tells you what's been updated, but it doesn't actually tell you how it's been updated, if that makes any sense whatsoever. I am on my outdoor setup, but I'm kind of assuming that the Supercross track isn't really going to be that difficult. So I'm on my outdoor setup. But just going around corners as well, and your foot doesn't go out when you're going around corners now as well, which I think is pretty sick when you're standing up. Obviously when you're sitting down it still will. But yeah, just going around corners even like this. I feel like screenshots could look better as well. I feel like a lot of people are saying that screenshots are going to be a lot cooler as well now. But to me, the game doesn't feel too different, which is kind of nice. We'll go into first person in a minute. I'm just kind of looking at these animations. Like I said, this is generally my first time actually having a look at these. But it's just quite a good looking, like, Paboso track, I'm not going to lie. I feel like, obviously, this is like 5 years since I think we last had a Paboso track. We have ruts. We have ruts on a Paboso track. That's actually pretty hard. Some actual kind of ruts, which I think is pretty cool if we can actually get around this corner. Let's go to first person now. Apparently the leg out looks different in first person, which I don't really know if it does. But yeah, I'll be honest, I kind of feel like it does feel different, but I don't really know how to describe it. I don't really know what feels different. I wish I could have done like a full update, like these are the changes, all that. But I don't even know what the changes are. By the time this video comes out, it probably will. People will probably know what the actual changes are. But yeah, as of right now, I don't really know what the changes actually are. It just tells you what's been changed, but doesn't actually say how it's been changed. So, I don't really know. I don't really know what the actual changes are other than animations. I know there's MSM traction update as well, I think there was. And obviously this new stock track as well. But other than that, I don't really know. Apparently there's like a seat bounce kind of thing as well now. Now, I don't really know how true that is. A lot of people are saying that it feels like there is a seat bounce mechanic. But I don't really know. We've never had a seat bounce mechanic in this game. So that could be very, very interesting. And if we do actually have a seat bounce mechanic, that would be quite funny, because we've just finished Supercross, and you don't even really use the seat bounce for Supercross. You can use it in outdoors, obviously, but you'd use it a lot more in Supercross. So if there is an actual seat bounce mechanic, I'm kind of waiting for Insane to put the changelogs out. I'd normally use Insane, because he put some out in the MX Bikes Discord, like all the changelogs, things that have been changed. So kind of just going to wait for that, I think, and yeah, just hope there is a seat bounce mechanic, because I feel like that would be very, very cool and something new to kind of learn. And it'll kind of change how tracks play as well, because you'd be able to actually seat bounce stuff out of corners, which could be very, very interesting. But I don't know, it's kind of weird if I like sort of use a seat bounce. I don't know, it kind of feels like I am, but then that's because I'm kind of thinking that there is. So I don't really know. It'd be interesting to kind of know whether there actually is. But to be fair, for a stock track, this is actually kind of enjoyable. And I generally would not be surprised if there's pub lobbies on a stock track. And I feel like a lot of people are going to be running this track. But it's actually got some good corners. It's got off-camber corners, got some big jumps. Obviously got a Supercross section. Supercross section is very, very small. It definitely feels like a stock track, don't get me wrong. It doesn't feel like, you know, doesn't feel like a JV kind of track. You can do a little double over that. I suppose that's a little cheater line you can kind of do. But I don't know, getting into these ruts, it does kind of feel different. The like steering and turning mechanic feels different. I'm not sure what physic changes are done, but again, my information from Aerial Bits was saying that physics do feel different. So I'm very, very interested. Like I said, I don't really know what the changes are. I wish I could give you like an informative video of what the changes actually are and what's different. But I'm generally just doing this as in like just trying to feel out how the track works, or like how the like animation and everything works. But yeah, I feel like for screenshot game could be pretty good now, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like it could be pretty cool. See if we can get up into this corner pretty nice. But I mean, it could change how the game is played if we've got a seat bounce mechanic and like the steering and everything is different. It generally could change how the game works. And I feel like tunnel sounds, was there always like tunnel sounds? I don't know if there's like an audio change. I could be completely bugging. But I feel like every time you go under a tunnel on a Supercross track, there isn't that like echoey noise. So I don't know, that could be another change as well. But yeah, I feel like, I don't know, it's just more of like a quality of life kind of change. I feel like there's nothing really huge that's different, but there's definitely some noticeable changes, and I feel like it was time that we needed some animation updates, because yeah, the animations in this game were kind of doo-doo. But I feel like with this one, it could actually look cool. And I said this before, I've said this multiple times now, but I generally feel like screenshots could look really, really cool. I think we're going to go into third person again. I'm not normally a third person guy, as you all know, but I don't know, these animations are just kind of cool, especially like standing up, leaning forwards, like leaning back on the lip of jumps. Let's see if you can fully like stretch. I mean, you can. It doesn't really feel like you're seat bouncing if you really like flick the stick a lot. If I'm just like sort of trying to stretch and launch everything, I don't know, it doesn't really feel super different. It doesn't feel like I really do have a seat bounce, but then I'm not like coming tight out of a corner and trying to seat bounce. But like I said, it's just worth testing. I feel like just better seat time and just trying different things could be good. And then we come around this corner here, nice and tight. There are some tight sections on this track, to be fair. I would try the MSMs for more traction, but realistically, do people really care about MSM traction? No one is really riding the MSMs unless you're doing a Lindstone Etathon in a random lobby. So I'm not going to really bother riding the MSMs in this video, but apparently they have more traction, so that could be interesting. But yeah, like I said, with the like updates that they said they've changed, there's like tires and physics and everything, so I don't really know what the actual difference is. It doesn't feel super different, which I kind of like. Not like we're relearning the game again. I feel like some betas you are genuinely relearning the game again, but yeah, it doesn't feel super duper different, which is kind of nice, seeing as we literally have like GPs in a few days and then like outdoors in a couple weeks. But I think that's kind of good. It's kind of the perfect time to put out a beta update, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like they've kind of found a good spot to sort of do it, but I don't think they're really gonna like delay updates because Aerial's on. So it would not surprise me if they did it the day of Aerial or something, but it's kind of nice that they've, you know, done it a few days before GP and a couple of weeks before outdoors. Kind of the perfect time to put out an update, I think. But yeah, nonetheless, a very, very enjoyable track, I will say, for a stock track. Very, very enjoyable, and I'm looking forward to seeing what screenshots people sort of cook up. And yeah, just trying to learn the animations, learn how the bikes ride and everything. But yeah, like I said, some things feel different, some things feel the same. But yeah, I'm sure someone will have a more informative video when we're actually told more information about it. But as of right now, as I'm recording, there's not really a lot of information on this update. So yeah, I do apologize that it's not like a really informative video. It's more just my first time kind of riding the new beta update. But yeah, hope you guys did enjoy. I would say if you guys do want to get this track, it's on mods, but it isn't. It's in the game. You have it in your game. So if you want to ride this track, load your game up. It's called MXB Test Track, and very fun. Would not surprise me if there's actually some pop lobbies up on this, just because it's a new track. But yeah, I appreciate you guys watching. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you all in my next video. Peace.